Every time we start a new campaign, clients ask our account managers what they can expect in terms of results. So let's break down realistic expectations and ROI for new appointment setting campaigns after 3, 6, and 12 months onward. Here are 5 things that affect the performance of appointment setting campaigns: digital footprints, ideal customer profile or TAM, value proposition, market presence, case studies, and client reviews. In my previous videos, I've talked about some of these, so be sure to hit the subscribe button to not miss out on them and other new videos coming weekly. When talking about ROI for appointment setting, the thing is that the more check boxes you have, the higher your conversions will be. Now, depending on how good you are in these 5 areas that we will break down here in a few minutes, the conversions can be from 1% to 5%. When we onboard a new client, months 1 through 3, as we like to call, is the ramp up period. We use this period to better understand the ICP or TAM, to perfect the messaging, properly warm up our domains and mailboxes to better ensure our higher, much better deliverability, and we make tweaks here and there to the overall outreach processes like who and when to reach out. During this ramp up period, conversions usually range from 0.5 to 1.5% from lead to appointment. So 500 leads will get you from between 2 to 7 appointments, give or take. This number increases from 1% to 2% during months 3 and 6. Now you're looking at 10 plus appointments out of 500, maybe 750 leads. Even if you do build your own in-house team or outsource with companies like Belkins, remember one thing, that it's a numbers game. So contacting 500 leads with messaging to test will yield much more results than contacting only 100 people with better messaging. Once the outbound channel is at full speed, getting to months 6 to 12 is when the real fun begins, and you're able to build your pipeline with tons of conversations. Depending on buying intent, there are prospects that want to talk now, and there are those that maybe request to be contacted in about 3 or 6 months later. Now, during this time, it's important to believe in your partner or in-house SDR and let them follow up, build up momentum, and constantly check in. During 12 months of such work, you're looking at 2 to 3% conversions, so 15 to 20 appointments a month, or at least 100 appointments per SDR per year. Depending on your investment and business model, companies are spending between $50,000 to $100,000 to outsource turnkey SDRs, or at least $200K when building an in-house team. The successfully outsourced SDR can show at least 400% ROI in the first 12 months. So the question is, what works for you and where are you at? Take a look at this chart to get some more specific information in regards to ROI, but I need to point out that there are also many factors that play major roles in this being actually realistic. I'm talking sales cycles, deal sizes, industry being targeted, company size being targeted, and many other factors. As I mentioned in the beginning, we're going to break down 5 additional factors that play major roles in your ROI and conversions. So let's look at Belkins, for example. Digital footprints. If you Google Belkins, you'll find 27 million searches with lots of PR materials, content, external websites, and listings sharing who Belkins is creating positive impressions for. Now Google Fired Arts Studio, and when you do, you find barely any information, content, or digital footprints. Ideal client profile and TAM. Belkins also has a TAM of 10 million in their sweet spot, targeting clients in 50 different industries like SaaS, IT, healthcare, business consulting, software, and so on. Even though we have tons of industries, our sales and BDR teams are going after only 4 to 5 industries at a time without spreading themselves thin. We even break down these industries to sub-industries. For instance, if you target the healthcare industry, you can go even deeper and specifically target healthcare services and facilities, medical devices, equipment, and hospital supplies manufacturers, pharmaceuticals and related segments, biotechnology, healthcare artificial intelligence, Internet of Things in medical sphere, life science tools and services, healthcare innovation and entrepreneurship, healthcare software, telehealth platforms for healthcare organizations. This approach helps us to narrow down our ideal clients and have better conversions from targeting. Of course, we didn't get here right away when we started, but little by little learned about marketing outcomes and clients. When we first started outbound campaigns, we also had a broad ICP and low conversions, but they grew over time. As I've talked about before in different videos and on multiple webinars, it's important to start off with a specific ICP and then broaden it over time if you see that specific industries don't convert as well as others. Consistently testing not only different industries, but different approaches to each individual industry is extremely important. You know the saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket? It's true. Try different things and don't get stuck in a rut. Value proposition. Most of Belkin's competitors build their value proposition around hours spent, outsourced SDRs, multi-channel approaches, but with no concrete evidence that this works or gives any concrete estimations of the number of appointments booked. That's why when we worked on our value proposition, we catered it in a way so that we can guarantee appointments, use only effective channels and tools, and focus on performance and not hours spent. Just from the hours and hours I spent on weekly calls with my clients back in my account management days, I heard from clients countless times that they previously worked with competitors of ours and they ended on, let's just say, not a very good note and were left with an unpleasant experience. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing our competitors in any way, but simply saying that our value proposition has our clients' success and growth as our top priority. Overall, we value long-term collaborations and do everything in our power to ensure that we work with our customers not only for 3 months, but for years and years to come. Market presence. We know well the companies we compete against, and we're always working on increasing our brand and market presence, which is why we're presented with different awards like Top 100 Best Service Companies Globally, Best Agencies, Best Appointment Setting Companies, etc. This helps us to increase our brand search volume, and our SDRs have higher open rates when we reach out with, hey, this is so-and-so from Belkin's, let's collaborate. Case studies and client review. One of the most important things that any company should have is case studies and positive online reviews. It's one thing for me to sit here for 10 minutes promoting our company and our brand and saying the typical, we're the best out there, choose us, and so on. But it's a completely different thing when real customers leave detailed and raw reviews. Let's start off with reviews. Let's take reviews or feedback, for example. I'll start off with a story though to prove my next point. So one day I'm sitting in Taco Bell with my mom and my brother, and the employee taking our order was just being a straight up doll. She was nicer than most cashiers, and after she took our order, we went and sat down, but our mom said, I'll be right back. So she walked up to the cashier and asked for the manager. And of course, the Taco Bell employee looked very worried as she asked her manager to come up. The manager walks up, and my mom said, it's very common for people to ask for the manager when things are, bad or not going very good, but unfortunately, not enough people are quick to apprehend. I wanted to speak with you to simply say that your cashier was super nice and is doing such a great job, and I just felt the need to bring that to your attention. So if you didn't get my point from this story, here's the deal. Unfortunately, people or customers are very quick to leave negative reviews if their experience was bad or uncomfortable, but not many want to take the time to apprehend when things are really going well. We not only focus on meeting our customers' expectations, but also on including them in our journey with new customers, because most clients will check out reviews before investing in any new kind of vendor relationships. We don't just have good reviews because we ask our customers to leave them. We ask them to be sincere and to say exactly what they feel after working with us. Now, that's one thing. Case studies is another thing. Case studies not only offer you the ability to improve your portfolio, but also allow you to implement real success stories into campaigns. Utilizing information from your case studies and maybe even sharing them with prospects only helps build your case to be more successful and attain more clients down the road. Long story short, if you don't have any case studies, I'd recommend you start working on some right now. In my next video, I'll talk about comparing outsourcing SDRs and in-house SDRs in much more detail. So make sure you subscribe and keep an eye out for this and other videos.